The happy dervish, in a kingdom surrounded by vast deserts and rolling hills, there lived a powerful Shah named Jalaluddin. His palace stood tall in the heart of the capital city, its white marble domes glowing like the moon under the scorching sun. Every morning, Shah Jalaluddin would ride through the streets in his ornate palanquin, shaded by golden canopies and flanked by guards on horseback. He rarely interacted with commoners, but he often watched them from the small curved window in his palanquin. Merchants shouting, women haggling, children chasing goats, and laborers drenched in sweat. He had everything: an army loyal to his command, a treasury that echoed with the clinking of gold, wives in silken clothes, and scholars who recited poetry at his court. And yet, within the privacy of his soul, Jalaluddin often felt a knowing emptiness. Despite his abundance, sleep escaped him, laughter seemed hollow, and peace a distant dream. One sweltering afternoon, as the Shah passed through the market square on his way to the royal gardens, he noticed something, or rather someone, that made him pause. In the middle of the busy square, near a stone well, sat an old dervish. His clothes were tattered and faded with dust. His beard, long and snow white, moved with the breeze. Before him was a wooden bowl with only a few copper coins, and beside it a cloth bag tied with a fraying string. But what truly caught the Shah's attention was the dervish's face, calm, serene, and lit with an unmistakable smile. He looked content, blissful, even. Strange, thought the Shah. What could he possibly be smiling about? The palanquin moved forward, and the image disappeared behind curtains of silk. Yet the dervish smile lingered in the Shah's mind. 3 days later, while returning from a court session, the Shah passed the same route and saw the dervish again, this time reclining against the well stones, eyes closed, the face tilted toward the sun as if soaking in divine joy. People passed him without notice, but his smile was still there, soft and effortless. The Shah was intrigued. A week later, he changed his usual routine to pass through that market again and again and again. Every time, the dervish was there, in rain or sun, cold or heat, always with the same calm and gentle smile. One morning, without announcing to his guards, the Shah stepped out of his palanquin and walked directly to the dervish. His jewel-laden robe sweat dust from the ground as passers-by gasped and bowed in surprise. But the dervish, unfazed, looked up slowly, his smile widening as if welcoming an old friend. The Shah stood over him and asked, "Old man, I have passed by you for weeks. You sit here with almost nothing, no food, no shelter, no family, and yet you look happier than any man I know. Why?" The dervish bowed his head slightly and replied with a warmth that felt disarming, "Because I am." The Shah blinked, unsure whether he was being mocked. "How can you be happy?" he asked, more softly this time. "Do you have money?" "Very little, my lord. Enough for a piece of bread if people are kind." "Do you have a house or family?" "No house, and no one waits for me anywhere. I sleep where the sky covers me." "Are you healthy, at least?" The dervish chuckled, "Not quite. My knees ache at night, and my teeth gave up years ago, but I am still able to talk and sing praises in the morning." The Shah frowned. "Then tell me, what makes you so happy?" "I, who have everything you lack, find no such peace." The dervish sat up straighter. His eyes were clear, even though his body was frail. "May I tell you a story, Shahnshah?" he asked. The Shah nodded. The dervish began. "Many years ago, I was not so different from you. I had a business in Shiraz with servants and sons, a wife who lit lamps at twilight, and a shop full of Persian rugs. Then a fire came. A simple oil lamp spilled in the storeroom, and by morning, everything I owned had turned to ash. My wife died that night, and one of my sons never woke up. I searched for reasons in prayers, in punishments, in anger, but none came. I wandered from town to town with my surviving child until even he fell ill and left me. I wanted to die with him. The Shah's expression changed from curious to solemn. But the dervish continued. In that moment of utter loss, I sat under a neem tree and heard a wandering fakir sing a verse. I don't remember the full poem, but it said something like this: whatever is taken from you is what you didn't truly own. Whatever remains is your true wealth. That was haunted me. I asked myself, what was mine that could not be burned or buried? He looked up at the Shah, his eyes misty, and the answer I found was simple: awareness, the ability to watch, to breathe, and still feel awe. I stopped running. I began to accept. Slowly, I saw that every day brings small gifts: a kind word, a rising sun, a bird's flight, a cool breeze. When I stopped demanding joy and simply welcomed the day as it was, joy began to arrive in small, sacred doses. The Shah was quiet. His guards stood a few feet away, uncertain whether they should step forward or remain still. But what if pain returns? He asked. It always does, said the dervish. But I have learned this: God does not give more than we can carry. If I ache at night, I know morning will bring rest. If I go hungry one day, I trust someone will share their bread the next. This faith, not in miracles, but in meaning, keeps me smiling. The Shah slowly sat on the edge of the well, rope dusting against stone. And what if a man cannot find that meaning? Then he must sit quietly, replied the dervish, and stop running from his suffering. Let the silence teach him. The noise of palaces drowns the voice of the soul. But in stillness, we hear what is essential. The Shah looked down at his velvet cuffs, gold threads glinting in the light. You think I cannot hear my soul? I think, said the dervish gently, you are afraid to, because it may tell you things your throne cannot fulfill. For a long while, the Shah said nothing. Then he stood and reached into his chaise, pulling out a small pouch heavy with gold coins. He offered it to the dervish. But the dervish shook his head with a smile. Keep it, my master. What I needed comes to me, and what I already have, money cannot buy. The Shah hesitated, then quietly he bowed his head, placed the pouch on the stone beside the bowl, and walked back to his palanquin. As the curtains drew, he glanced one last time at the smiling dervish, still seated, still content, as if nothing had changed. But something had changed within the Shah. That night, for the first time in months, Shah Jalaluddin stood at his palace balcony, looking not at his wealth or his gardens, but at the moon above. It felt different now, not just beautiful, but present. And in that stillness, a breeze brushed his face like a blessing, and he smiled.